Hello everyone! Holiday Wither here, and welcome back to another episode of 80 Days. In the last episode, we had quite the time getting here as we sailed over sea and had to traverse past a quote-unquote dreaded sea monster. But in this episode, we are going to continue our journey and realize that we are almost on day 50, and I do not think we are... Oh, that's weird. I don't know why we're doing this. But as you can see, we are right here and we have quite a bit of world left to explore. So I think we should continue and see what our best path of exploration is. So of course for now we're just going to be exploring because we need to find new routes as quickly as possible. Rangoon still bore the marks of its capture at the hand of the British in the last Anglo-Burmese War, but in the following decade, King Pagan had transformed from a bloodthirsty tyrant to a statesman capable of recapturing Rangoon, crushing a rebellion by its British-sympathizing half-brother, and winning the love of his people. A feat not inconsiderable diplomacy and cunning. Her Majesty's government had been utterly flummoxed by the reversal of fortune in the region, and Burma had become something of a national shame in the London press. I had taken a mere 2 steps from the verda of our lodging when an enormous shadow darkened the street. There was a grinding shriek and hot breath, and then I was seized in a great iron claw. A claw? In all my travels, I had not expected such treatment. The ground fell away in a dizzying rush. The automaton was not flying precisely, but rather leaping with a powerful bunching of hydraulics and gears. With 3 powerful jumps, the creature scaled a nearby temple and deposited me at the very top of the pagoda. I dared to look at my captor, only to find myself similarly scrutinized by a pair of jewel-faceted predator's eyes. The automaton was an enormous gilded iron lion with a heartbreakingly human porcelain face and torso. Its mane was made of strands of uncut rubies, glimmering like blood in the river-washed sun. Of its teeth, the less said the better. Suffice to say, I was quite discomforted to be clinging to the very tip of a pagoda's tower, mere inches from its jaw. I am Manuhisa, it said in a grating rumble. And you are in my city, Jean Passepartout? You know my name, I demanded, my distaste for the Christian name overriding my fear. I know every creature that comes here. I'm the protector of the city. I know the whys and hows of every creature that passes through my domain, but your purpose is a mystery. We are going around the world, I declared, but with far less than my usual gusto, aware as I was of the long drop which awaited me if I chose my words without care. The world is a dangerous place, Munahasa said, grinding its iron teeth in a horrible smile. And you Europeans only make it mere so, wherever you go. You are a watchdog of the king, I suggested, like the chinth which sits in front of a temple. Manahusa shook his blank human face from side to side in a clatter of rubies. I am an imperial advisor to King Pagan and no simple collection of gears and levers. I could scarcely believe Manahusa's calm, philosophical discourse. But I insisted, who made you? Munahasa sighed with a hot gust. I was once a royal child's toy, a man-eating lion with cushioned teeth and emerald eyes. But there was some spark in my shard which allowed me to build, to create myself. I cannibalized the other toys in the imperial nursery. I built and soldered and scratched myself into being. You are your own creator, I breathed. In horror? Wonder? I do not rightly know. I've only just begun. Munahasa seemed to preen, every inch in a feral iron lion wrapped around a combustion engine. Enjoy my city, Jean Passepartout. But when you leave, you will go to Pagus Pass. But there is no route that way. There will be. He seized me in a warm paw once more and leapt to the streets in one heart-stopping bound. By the time I had finished shaking, Manahusa was gone, his last ambiguous words echoing in my head. I wondered how much of the kingdom of Burma's recent change of fortune could be ascribed to the protector of Rangoon. I wondered whether the people of Burma would one day proclaim themselves subjects of an automaton king. If anything like that is possible, I'm scared for the future of them. I wondered if he would truly be worse than a monarch of flesh and blood. I wondered many other things, best left unvoiced. So, Yadabun, but let's plan. So he wants us to go here, arrives tomorrow. Okay, so let's sleep at the hotel. We'll pass the night I hate to say, I went out to explore the streets of Rangoon during the cold evening, but could not shake the strange, prickling sensation of being watched. I retreated quickly back to where Monsieur Fogg was waiting. Passepartout, he remarked with an assembling look. He looked positively haggard. The character is now dab-handed. Okay. We are now going to depart for Pangsu Pass. Well, it's gonna be a bad journey, and we are riding on a metal hawk, apparently. The next morning, we stepped onto the streets to find a gigantic bronze and steel bird waiting for us. Well, apparently that's how we're getting there. This was the transport Manahusa had hinted at. I gulped for fear, but Monsieur Fogg was not even slightly concerned. He had leapt aboard, consulted his pocket watch, and smiled as we were lifted in the sky. Well, I'm gonna converse. I think we should. I'm at your service, Monsieur Fogg, my excellent valet. What about Pangsu Pass? I cannot think why anyone would want to go to there. Money? The banks have been most generous. It is not generosity, as my prosperity we are gambling upon. Canton? Did any of you discover anything in the paper about Canton? I know that you can pick up zootropes in Canton. Extremely valuable in Hong Kong. Very good. So we passed by there, and we now arrived. The flight was in fact glorious. We swept over mountains, deep ravines, tiny villages, and deep jungle. It was the wildest, deepest country I'd yet seen, and we soared above it, as though it was a painting, and we were its audience. Even Monsieur Fogg was enjoying himself. The speed had brought a touch of color to his otherwise meticulously pale cheeks. Passepartout, he declared with true passion. However you have arranged this, I am most impressed. A mighty compliment indeed. I nodded my head a fraction. A suitable reply. We landed in Pangsu Pass under cover of darkness. The bird let us down gently, dropped our cases, and then wheeled away dramatically into the sky. Excellent progress, Monsieur Fogg remarked. And I could not disagree. We had made a long journey very quickly. Well, it seemed to only be in a day's journey, which was nice. We'll have to sleep here and explore in the morning. Well, nothing else we can do. We have to sleep. There were no hotels in Pangsu Pass, but we were put for the night in a local man's thatched roof dwelling. Apparently we can only explore. Where the heck did we get landed at? There was a mood of grim celebration when we arrived there. A man by the name of Captain Chalmers had captured Surya, a notorious Indian revolutionary responsible for some recent disturbances in Chittagong. Would you like me to come with you to interrogate the man? Captain Chalmers asked gently. I cannot trust the natives to guard my back. His smile was deceptive. I smiled acidly in return. It's not my area of expertise. I must see to my own gentleman. I smiled in return. It's not my area of expertise, I replied. He waved away my refusal. We must know the names of this fellow conspirators. I will do my duty to find them out, even if you will not. Chalmers went towards his prison hut and realized with a singing heart that this was Munahasa's task. I was supposed to rescue the helpless Indian rebel. I made my way towards the prison hut with a heavy heart. The prison hut was a small, rancid-smelling place that had been used more than once. Monsieur Fogg, standing at the door with me, raised an eyebrow. Perhaps they will listen to me, he suggested. Good idea, I said. Monsieur Fogg stepped quickly forward and knocked at the door. I cannot imagine what the reaction side was like this to most polite of interruptions, but I took the opportunity to slip around the back of the hut. There was a pile of dry firewood stacked against one wall. Unearthed the window. Fire would be an excellent distraction, I thought. And there had been lit candles back in the barracks hut. A short walk from prison. I hurried away, thrusting that my master would delay things, even if he could not resolve them. Returned a moment later with a flame. The jar bike dropped quickly. I raced around the front to announce the fire just as Monsieur Fogg was staying in front of the bemused-looked Chalmers, who had no idea what to say. Passepartout good, he declared. Can you smell something? I asked my master, not wanting to seem guilty for the minor act of arson. Monsieur Fogg frowned. I believe I can. Would smoke? The captain leapt into action, leaving the hut door wide open. We ran inside immediately, not wasting a second. Surya's bonds were cut in a moment using a knife, which was, fortuitously, lying there as a thought, just for the purpose. As though, just for the purpose, excuse me. Well, this is interesting. So we're supposed to rescue an Indian native. And we're doing so by burning down someone's hut and lying to them. Yeah, this doesn't seem good. Monsieur Fogg helped Surya to his feet while I waited in the doorway, keeping watch. Then we were away, limping down the hillside to collapse breathlessly behind an outcrop of rock. Surya's eyes were dimmed and his breathing hoarse. I thank you, whoever you are, he gasped. You will be saved, I promise it. And thus we stayed, watching as the frantic officers tried to quench the fire and failed. Believing all the while, I think, that Surya was still inside. And we have gained relationships with Fogg somehow. And apparently we are leaving, but man, is this getting us pretty far to Beijing. Yes, let us depart to Beijing. And the Iron Hawk has come back again, and thankfully we should be there in a day's time, seeing how quick it was. Oh, and I just got an achievement. Saved from the noose. Well, that must have been an optional side quest then. The Garda that swooped to collect us seemed to know exactly where we were hiding amongst the trees, snatched our luggage, and then us, peering into the sky before any of the British soldiers could level their guns. I tried to explain to Monsieur Fogg that this was our reward for bravery, but he seemed most disinterested in the whys and wherefores of the matter. It is clear that some things simply do not register on a gentleman's mind. I'd asked Sawyer what would happen next, and he took a few awful shuddering breaths before answering. I have friends in China, he replied. They have no love for the British, and he grinned a toothless and bloodied grin. I recovered there for a time. You have done well, I told him. It seems that the compassionate thing to say. He smiled gratefully and then slumped back into sleep. We are going to groom Monsieur Fogg just so we can get our health back up, because we're going to take a little bit of damage going down. We crossed the Himalayas at such a speed and height that the snow-capped peaks were but a long stretch of foamy sea. We grew cold on the back of that great creature, and the Surya shivered terribly even as we swooped down and landed within sight of the city of Beijing. I tended Surya, attempting to warm him a little, and he gave my hands a grateful squeeze. It's not far. Empress Sixi will have no airships in the city limits. This includes Garda, like this fine fellow. Garda in question began to hiss and rumble a little. It spoke in the grating, curiously musical voice of Manhusa. Ah, Jean Passepartout, it said. I knew you were more than you seemed. I'm roaring in health, but we must make haste. True. Anything in the market? Stetson hat, part of the American wardrobe, salve arsenate, arnica, for tired joints and bones. We're gonna buy this. That will be very helpful. Good gracious, this is rather most exhausting than I anticipated. Hello, where are these routes leading? Does that lead to America? Wait, it does. Oh my gosh, look at these routes. Wow. Oh my gosh. We have just discovered a buttload of routes. Hold on, I need to see these routes. Oh my gosh, we need to get here, San Francisco, so we need road to MLG? Oh, these are players. I did not realize that. So I think we need to go here. Okay. Let's go to the hotel, because we have nothing better to do. Day 50. There are no airships sailing across the Beijing sky. Oh, gosh. I can't speak, apparently. The Beijing sky, nor any evidence of electrification. The Chinese did not shun all technology. Peliquins were drawn by intricately worked and gilded iron lions as often as human servants, and I saw animated metal and jade dragons perched on the glades of imperial buildings, breathing the curls of steam vapor and flapping their enamel feathered wings. Furthermore, I was lucky enough to catch the inside of a most comfortable hotel, with a complex of steam rooms powered by a cunning arrangement of heating underground viaducts. My master no doubt wondered if we could sail them in a canoe, but for myself, I was content to lie back and sweat a little on the dials. Did the streets of Beijing have the sights to offer a traveler? Perhaps. I did not leave my comfortable room. Well, let's explore, since we have nothing better to do. And please tell me there is a route leading out of Beijing. Thank you. That's where we need to go. I spent a few hours in exploration, learning ways in which we might travel onwards. We're going to depart. Hong Kong arrives tomorrow. That's where we want to go, right? Hong Kong? No, it's here. Oh, shoot. Negotiate. Though if we do go here, we can sail across. I think this is where we want to go. Embark. I'll just spend a little bit for a little extra luggage space. It was only 12 euro. It wasn't a big amount, so it's small amounts of euro is fine. We boarded the Beijing Express for the next leg of the journey, through China to Hong Kong. Well, I'm going to groom Monsieur Fogg, but maybe that was a bad idea since we were really close to 100. From Beijing to Hong Kong was another 1,000 miles, but the train line took a clever route that avoided most of the large towns entirely, running without stopping by the shortest route possible. I passed the time in conversation, hoping to gather information for our next journey, discovering from a cheerful Siamese woman that a notorious jewel thief plied the waters between Singapore and Batavia in a boat called the Spicy Jack. Evening turned to night, and the train did not stop or slow. Okay. Anything else? Converse. Thankfully, we got that before it was too late. Greetings, madam. Good day, monsieur. Are you well? How about Hong Kong to Yokohama? That sounds unlikely. Hong Kong to Singapore? Did you know merchants in San Pedro will pay you a huge amount for handheld mirrors in Singapore? For instance, merchants in Yokohama will pay fantastic amounts for sheets of tin from Singapore. Goodbye. The countryside fell away to be replaced by busy, bustling worker towns. Large industrial plants belched steam into the air, and mechanical contraptions stalked between warehouses. I watched with fascination as the countryside turned into the beginnings of an urban sprawl. This would be a city of dirt and filth. And yes, excitement. And danger. Probably a lot of danger. A pocket altimeter should be useful here. Okay. So, market. I probably won't need this anymore, so I am going to sell this. I don't really think we need anything, but I'll just buy those just in case. Goodbye. I'm done. Plan. Yeah, here. Arrives Sunday. Well, shoot. I am going to explore because I do not want to wait till Sunday. Is it seriously going backwards? Oh my gosh, that was a waste of time. I was looking over a bolt of navy Chinese silk when a man accosted me. This man had a mustache so fine, so luxuriant, so well tended that I briefly lost the power of speech. I watched, mesmerized, as it quivered with every word of introduction. It seems his name was Fix. Okay, that's a weird name to have. He offered me a drink, and given that I had a few hours to spare, I could not in good conscience refuse. He led me into a dingy basement with a sour-faced Chinese woman, resided over several tables and few couches with men and women, mostly Europeans in various states of lulling intoxication. This is an opium den, I exclaimed uneasily. The gin is good, he told me, in order as the bottle to prove his claim. It was thin and sharp, but not wholly distasteful. We chatted eminently from the time, though I noted he kept my glass full and not his own. Listen, he said abruptly, I am a police detective sent from the London office. You, a detective? I could not hide my incredulity, but he presented me with his commission, which seemed in all respects genuine and correct. You have been duped, he resumed. Mr. Fogg's wager is a pretext. Last September, a robbery of £55,000 was committed at the Bank of England by a person whose description answers exactly to that of Mr. Phileas Fogg. What? £55,000, did you say? I slurred, feeling the effects of the bottled gin. That surely cannot be. You know scarcely anything of your master, Fix ground on. You went into his service the day you departed on this so-called wager, carrying little but a large quantity of banknotes. He's too gallant to be a thief, I protested. Fix strokes his mustache. Thieves are frequent gallant, he assured me. Charismatic, even. Suddenly, I began to doubt. Everything Fix said was, after all, true. My master was a mysterious fellow whose motives were not easily perceived, and his wager, well, it was a most peculiar one to be sure. The detective hissed a breath which fluttered the tips of his oiled mustache. I could arrest you as his accomplice. I have done nothing wrong, I protested. Then you must help me, he replied. Fix pressed a pipe into my hand, and I unthinkably lifted it to my mouth. And inhaled. The what? The sweet smoke percolated through my lungs, and my head felt heavy. Opium, I breathed in accustomed. The last thing I remember is the blurred and waving outline of Fix's self-satisfied face as I fell upon the table. We were just mugged. Depart. Is that where we want to go? Well, we were just mugged, so we have nothing else to do. I woke in a small, dark cabin with the familiar hum of an airship motor underneath me. As for my head, it was attached to my body, and that was the best that could be said of the situation. I had clearly overindulged previous, and I began to castigate myself in the strictest of terms. English captain resigns after Pangsu prisoner escapes. Well, we seem to have an interesting predicament happened, and we are very close to the end of our journey. I guess we'll find out what happens in the next episode. So everyone, this is Holiday Withers signing off. Hope you enjoyed another episode of 80 Days, and if you haven't, make sure to click that like button, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a nice day.